It almost forces LMQ to ban TF or just have to play immediately into it.
Well, what else do you leave up though? You can. It's actually interesting. Whoa. CLG bans the kill for LMQ. They want so badly to first pick TF.
Yeah.
They'll leave everything else up and remove what else they can. LMQ ban TF. You ban Lee Sin. Dexter's Elise. There's actually a video someone posted. Hotshot was doing all his reactions to CLG's last game of the week.
Loved Dexter's Elise.
And he was like, Dexter's never getting Elise again, like ever in the LCS. But it's Doublelift's Kog'Maw removed instead. Lulu.
Whoa.
Not even TF. I'm all kinds of wrong.
Well, this is definitely a pick and ban phase where they're going to be trading a lot of power picks. Kog'Maw being banned away is the final thing. And the Twisted Fate picked away. Ooh. Oh, that is clever.
Elise goes to NoName, though Dexter's happy to play Elise anyway. Doublelift happy to play Twitch. Maybe Lucian. Second string for him there.
It's just so funny how the ban phase played out there.
I want another mind games.
I just think it was absolutely back and forth, right? I think the Kog'Maw ban right at the end threw CLG for a bit of a loop. Because some of TF's power would be taken away in a sense if you can't just port onto a Kog'Maw and kill him in one sense.
Sure.
And also, Seraph has been having such a good week, giving him something like Lulu and taking it away from Ackerman is arguably more valuable than the Twisted Fate in the first place.
We've seen Lulu tops do exceptionally well. I believe she's undefeated today. Fought Jax's both times. And heck, maybe we see that one more time here, actually.
Yeah. I mean,
half the games, Lulu versus Jax.
What was Seraph's tweet yesterday? It was something like,
no deaths.
No die today, many fantasy point.
Yeah, something close to that. Dexter does get Elise. Hotshot GG is wrong. Dexter gets it anyway. Thresh here for Aphromoo. Goes for that with everything else up.
Team. They were just loaded with utility in those first 3 picks.
Oh, yeah.
They are primed for a Twitch pick later. And I'm not entirely sure. I mean, they could still do a mid laner. XiaoWeiXiao having some slight issues. There's a chance we'll drop out a champ select here. But for now, he's just cycling every champion in League of Legends.
A mouse still works, that's for sure.
Yeah.
See what that ends up being if
the size of the mouse pad.
Yep.
Damn.
I don't think he plays with that low sensitivity, though.
No.
It's just good to know. I like how meta it is, too. It's a mouse on top of a mouse on a mouse pad.
So a quick little drop out of champs, like there was a problem with XiaoWeiXiao's machine.
Yeah.
Or something else.
Not for him.
Yeah, they definitely have. Because like I said, they were here for LMQ's first game, which was game 3 of the day. And we had a couple long games as well after that, so they've had plenty of time to get acclimated to the settings.
Now we go through this one, and LMQ back into the picks and bans. Their choices were going to be Renekton and Nami, by the way, here. So Renekton versus Lulu, the likely top lane matchup. Still going to take some time to decide on the support pick. Morgana would be good as well of the commonly picked supports here. But Nami it is.
It's a very low damage team.
Yeah.
I mean, really, both of these teams have been low damage so far. It's a very utility-based team comp on both sides right now. So a lot of lockdown for XiaoWeiXiao to maybe go around and make some big gank plays. But honestly, a lot of dodging mechanisms for CLG. Thresh, one of the best supports you can have against Twisted Fate. You just throw the Lantern on your AD carry and walk away, and TF has to decide. He either basically goes into your turret or gets nothing.
So what is the thing that's going to get Lantern then for Doublelift? Twitch Lucian, the top 2 contenders normally.
He's had so much success on Twitch.
And that is the case. And actually, it's mid lane Lulu, by the way. Seraph goes back to the Shyvana here. So Shyvana versus Renekton. Old school matchup. The interesting thing is, CLG was like, you know, we don't want to keep playing this passive Seraph by himself Shyvana top lane, but they're going back to it anyway.
It brings a lot more damage into their team overall.
Yeah.
Having the Shyvana in the top lane, one of the highest damage potentials from that lane. Also, there had been a Tristana ban by CLG against Complexity. When we asked them after the game, it said because Doublelift and Aphro actually aren't that comfortable playing against Tristan lane. That was yesterday. Vasilii locks it in this time with the Nami. Should be some potent harassment in the lane.
I actually like Trist a lot here for a variety of reasons. So one, there's only sort of moderate threat against her in terms of team fights. You can buster shot Shyvana away and then she can no longer reach you anymore. And the fact that she's so good up to about level 6 there's so many easy ways to dive this bot lane with Twisted Fate. Rocket jump in, bust shot him into a wall, all the fun stuff. You've even got built-in Grievous Wounds with Explosive Shot. Like, it could be a really volatile bottom lane. It's going to be a fun one to watch here. We're going to see where the vote stands on LOLesports.com. Right now, CLG leads LMQ with 73%.
Pretty big percentage. 2-0 and 0-2 coming into the week as well. But keep sending your real-time predictions. Tweet it at LOL Esports. Then use the hashtag CLGWin or the hashtag LMQWin. Also, Vasilii is much taller than the rest of LMQ.
He's not even standing up.
Yeah.
He's taller everywhere. That was a weird comment.
Yeah.
He's got a tall torso is what I was going for with that
All
one.
right.
There we go. Made it around. I got the point out that I wanted to. Meanwhile, our chairs are level. You could actually be like 3 feet taller than me. We wouldn't know.
It's true. My torso is not that tall.
Nor is mine.
I'm taller than like all the casters, but my seat is generally higher than theirs.
Yep.
Did you know?
I'm more leg than torso myself, so gonna be all right with this one. CLG LMQ getting themselves into the game. Again, going for 4-0 the dream. Both teams having the fan outpouring here. I like the LMQ fan next, or the LMQ sign next to the CLG sign.
Yeah.
They don't push themselves away. They're just like, we'll just hold them both up. It'll be all right. But here we go. Counterlogic Gaming, the ability to retain control of first place with this win. Dignitas would have to 2-0 tomorrow to wrest control of that. Doublelift is watching for NoName.
0 for 1 on those Lee Sin Qs.
Oh!
All right.
Follow it. Oh, he could have followed it.
That would have been foolish.
But cool. Early wards coming out. Both teams fairly defensive with this. We actually already have Vasilii's down in the bottom river. So watch for those late invades. And he's going to stand here and just stay as bait for a short time. Dexter with the early sweeper. We've seen a couple of teams do this now. Early sweeper on the jungler. Dexter gets 10 gold for his troubles. Early gold lead CLG. Will they keep it?
1 CS on Dexter. Some should say junglers should give farm to their solo laners.
Could have given 5 gold to Link or something.
No, they might be thinking of a late invade here. They got a ward actually on Dexter. Hoping to make some early plays onto NoName's Lee Sin actually. They're actually in position for a lane swap as well. Haven't seen a lane swap from CLG in a real long time.
Aphro, XiaoWeiXiao see each other. Here's the rest of CLG. They didn't actually show their AD carry, but they did show the support. So these guys know about the matchup. More gonna go early, put a ward down on the other team's red buff. He knows that this game is played. CLG will get their own red. NoName not too far behind in his quest for the blue.
Yeah, Seraph's got a TP down in the bottom lane now, and it's the lane swap. So first lane swap of the day.
Mm-hmm. One of very few we see in this patch as well. Dragon was normally enough to keep teams from doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the Nami Tristana matchup, as far as the amount of harassment it can put out early on in the game, is most likely too much for Doublelift and Aphromoo to handle in that lane. Twitch, shorter range, lower base damage with the nerf. Aphromoo as well, no sustain. It is for the best, actually, that CLG does this. And now they can play with their...
Aphro predicts the juke. XiaoWeiXiao doesn't do it. The mind games. 1 level ahead, XiaoWeiXiao. And the lanes are getting frozen, by the way. Vasilii has not learned a skill point yet. Nothing in explosive shot, nothing in anything.
I wouldn't expect him to put points in his explosive shot for a while.
Yeah.
Explosive shot is a great harassment tool in lane, which is why you end up skilling it, but it's literally just farm lanes. When we saw Cop in a 1v2 with Tristana, he didn't buy explosive shot until, I think it was level 5 or level 7. Took him a while.
Yeah. No real need for it. Rapid fire, really worth maxing by around level 10, I think. You can start getting into fights by then, and the damage you get from that spell is quite nice. Ackerman and NoName looking for their play on the mid lane here. They each take separate routes around.
Just in case one side wasn't warded.
Now there we go, Link. Gold card's gonna hit him. And just a little bit of damage, and out goes Ackerman. Actually, it's XiaoWeiXiao getting hit up by Dexter now. A little bit of damage back and forth. 3-on-3 down to the mid lane. Jungler's top lane is now actually Aphromoo there as well. And here comes more. The 4v4 brawl. Seraph has to get away. 2-man play there from Aphro. The gold card hits Dexter. 100 health on him. Can they get a flash Q? They look for it, and he finds it. NoName picks up first blood, and now Link is cut off. The bubble hits. Another kill goes to Ackerman. Beautiful play, LMQ.
What a start for LMQ, and boy do they need that after starting SuperWeek 0-2. Not only are they the team with the AD carry in the bottom lane and is more likely to get Dragon control, they also get the 2 kills out of the 4v4 in the mid lane. And this was a very long engagement, but if we're thinking about early game power of champions, the utility and crowd control goes to LMQ. The repetitive stuns from XiaoWeiXiao's gold cards is what really decided this one. The unreliability necessarily of the Afro hooks, even though he did get a good one on Ackerman, there was a whole bunch of other people still chasing him down. Great shot by NoName there to close it in, and then he got the slow on Link just because he closed the range with his resonating strike. Could not have went better.
That was beautiful stuff. I even like the fact that all the spiderlings had been killed by AoE, so Dexter's spiderlings couldn't block the flash Q. All these little things actually came into effect on this one, and LMQ set a 1,200 gold ahead because of all this. Beautiful stuff by these guys. Double longsword already out for NoName. That's the kind of early game Lee Sin aggression you like to see.
And multi-wards as well.
Oh yeah.
That might even be the more important thing because of the roaming we're going to be seeing in these 2v0 lanes.
Aphromoo rejoining his lane mate now of Doublelift. Uses his charge. No longer has the ability to get rid of the cannon minion. But he goes in just to make sure the gold comes in before he upgrades items afterwards. Almost got them all.
Yeah, he has 1 point in his explosive shot now.
Ackerman level 3 looking to make his way down to the bot lane alongside Vasilii and everyone else. He has actually not shown up top lane yet. Whereas Seraph had shown bottom for a short time to soak up some XP. You see Seraph is a level ahead despite being in a losing fight, whereas Ackerman was in a winning one. And now LMQ used their early game laning advantage on the correct side of the map to go for the dragon 6 minutes in.
Yeah, huge potential for LMQ early on in this game. Not perfect dragon auto attack damage, but more doesn't take much damage out of all that.
Great stuff. LMQ making all the right choices so far. That mid lane fight was great. The dragon, exactly what you're supposed to do in this kind of a situation.
The dragon was going to LMQ was kind of opted into by CLG when they decided to send Doublelift and Aphromoo top in the first place. But when you consider the fact that they had the 2 deaths in the mid lane, it just becomes much worse because now that 1,000 gold swing, which was more recoverable, becomes a 2,000 gold swing, which really starts hampering COD's ability to keep up in items.
It's true. I wonder when the first recalls come through. Can they get a situation where it's BF sword versus nothing good? Whee! That fish went flying. Did you know there's a fish at the end of the W?
I do now.
I think it's only for that skin though. Only for Koi Nami. Yeah, I think the base skin does not have a fish on the ebb and flow. I could be correct, I just don't use the base skins. Because I have them all. Haha. Perks of working at Riot. I have every skin in the game.
At least you're humble about it.
Have I told you that I earned Victorious Rise? Oh, XiaoWeiXiao ghosting. Ulti goes in. Can he find what he's looking for? Dexter looks to be the target of that. Lands the gold card in the brush, but it's going to be enough for them. Nicely done. Vasilii claims the kill. Ulti to claim it. Nicely done, LMQ. 3-0 now.
Yeah, they were really trying to go all in on Vasilii right there. But it was not to be. Dexter getting punished now 0-2. At least not working out exactly the way he wants it to. That's for sure.
I guess in a way, LMQ isn't letting him play Elise. He's getting kind of stopped at every turn. Really good play by these guys. I mean, the early aggression's working out for them quite well. These dives have worked. The 4v4 mid lane again, just a big point in this. And the first TF ulti also something I like to track, and that one turned into a champion kill and turret pressure. That turned into that going down as well. LMQ controlling everything.
They really are. Level 4 Dexter, 8 minutes into the game. Oof. He was really the MVP of CLG in their victory yesterday.
Yeah.
Has been one small step behind LMQ here today. Vasilii is going to be a bit of a force as well. He's been to the edge first, actually. We've seen a lot of different Tristana build options.
Yeah, basically the lifesteal builds are the ones you opt into if you're going to fight the 2v2s. If it's going to be a close fight, but actually hold an Ackerman, gets the slice and dice, that's going to get him out of that one. But if you don't need the lifesteal to fight a 2v2 lane, whether you've got a Nami as a support or you're just in a lane swap situation, IH is way, way better. IEPD significantly beats Ruin King Infinity Edge in DPS. So 2-item Vasilii is going to be really scary when most AD carries aren't.
Yeah, and the question will become whether CLG can pressure him before that point. But based on the complexion of this game right now, it doesn't look like they'll be able to. Being down 2,500 gold and trading a turret.
Yeah, so CLG, how can they get themselves back in? And we actually know them as a team who does manage to squeak victories off of making great team-wide plays. They might give up kills occasionally, but they find their ways back in. Their game against Complexity earlier this week looked even bleaker to start this out, and they found their way back in. LMQ looking to make that not a repeat. Vasilii going to keep hitting this turret. Now, everyone knows that the team's right there. They were on top of a war, but Seraph waits around because TP doesn't come in from Link. Instead, Seraph getting chased down. A little bit of slow. The kick. Oh, nice flash. Ward Hop not going to get him far enough away. Seraph stays up.
Wow. So the feint teleport stops them from wanting to even 2v3 because they knew the level 6 Lulu versus the support in the jungler and an AD carry, which wouldn't have had that much immediate power. A really clever job of dodging that death by Seraph and Link combined. Still, Seraph deathless in SuperWeek.
Yeah, that's true. He's holding up the best he can. And 39 CS is also a reasonably good mark compared to Ackerman at only 23 right here. So that's good stuff. But unfortunately, it's still at the price of Vasilii having plenty of minions and his team holding a 2,400 gold lead. We are equal on turrets, to be fair, though. Bottom lane did go down to the dual lane of CLG. We're not watching necessarily their turret pressure as much, but turrets are equal.
Yeah, and we're beginning to see the reason why CLG wanted this lane swap. They are good at finding CS for their team, better than LMQ at it. It's just the fact that they had that little disaster in the mid lane that is making this not work out as clean as it should. But top lane, AD carry, they're getting the CS they need.
Yeah, CLG are playing the sort of measured, it's weird, like they're kind of being measured and defensive, but they're doing it really smartly. Like we're watching LMQ's high number of players because they're looking for these dives that CLG aren't giving them, but the guys off screen are completely succeeding here. And Doublelift is highest CS in the game. Oh yeah, of course it is. 4 points in rapid fire. Again, Vasilii didn't need explosive shot for the laning phase. Got to max rapid fire first, and he crushes turrets with 75, actually 82 bonus AD and items.
That is a lot of turret pressure that I think caught CLG off guard there.
Yeah. Doublelift had to use his escape to get that kind of attack speed. It's not even as good as rapid fire.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Dexter clears away a pink ward, trying to get control.
That move, too, hurt so much of what CLG wants to accomplish. They were hoping Seraph would be able to hold down there against Vasilii and more for a while so that CLG could hopefully get Dragon number 2 because they had just been over the Dragon about 30 seconds ago, cleaning that out. But because Vasilii and Moore did work on the turrets so quickly, they now get to move to the mid lane and have the advantage in this next Dragon.
Uh-oh. Ackerman does have flash, but is it enough? No! Certainly not. Doublelift finds the kill. Good hook by Aphro, to be fair.
Well, that could just be the move they need. Seraph with his teleport up. Dragon live right now. No, Ackerman did not use his ultimate, though. That's very critical. And his teleport is just coming off of cooldown right now.
And the respawn coming up 2-1, and there was a crocodile back on the map.
Yeah, that's not a Dragon CLG can necessarily force, but they do have some map pressure established because of that kill.
I mean, they do know that they are the team that's down in gold right now, the team that's a little bit behind. They can play these catches, Elise and Thresh, even the double teleport of Lulu and Shyvana. They have the room to make plays. Link's got to be a bit careful. Here's like on top of the enemy team. Stun, bubble, good damage comes through, but Moore now has to be careful. Flash hook! Nice dodge by Moore. Close one.
Yeah, because he didn't necessarily do a sideways flash there. He flashed directly pretty much at the line of the hook. Really close to still getting hit by Aphro.
Yeah. Just far down enough, so nicely done there.
This next moment is so critical for CLG, whether or not the early misstep turns into a snowball or whether it's just a minor misstep for CLG. It's going to be all be about how they play around this Dragon.
Okay, it is up. You've got to respect the damage output of Vasilii, though. Maxed out rapid fire and an infinity edge for this fight is a big threat when no one's got any real armor. There's the teleport in for Renekton.
I imagine they're going to be peeling. Renekton is coming in right now.
Okay, he has joined the team. Dragon, very low. Dexter in the air, not a good thing. Takes a tidal wave in. He's going to get dodged away, but it gives room for the smite. Gets picked up. Oh, Vasilii has to jump on in, and down he goes. Kill picked up. Now NoName goes down as well. CLG still pushing in. 2-0 so far. Can they find more? Seraph still chasing in. Nami trying to run away. Looks like he'll get back to the turret, but 2 kills for a Dragon.
Because the Dragon went to LMQ, The game is still in their advantage, but it will depend on whether they can hold this turn or not, since CLG suffered no casualties during that engagement.
Problem is, XiaoWeiXiao's got a blue buff and an Athenes from his great laning phase. He wave clears so easily. CLG get 2 kills and walk back to their own lanes. Seraph cannot steal his red buff away. Well, he's going to try.
Wants to.
This is a large risk. He does not have flash. He has a lantern. Does get away with the red buff, actually. That worked out.
Oh, wow.
Doublelift, take notes.
Whoa. They really wanted that red buff, and Seraph gets it. Still deathless in SuperWeek, although he's playing quite loose right now, which is good to see.
If it works, it works.
It is really good to see him making aggressive moves like that. As we unfortunately get a pause, Vasilii just doing a quick client restart. Because Seraph has been playing so timid up until SuperWeek. But the fact that he has a deathless SuperWeek and he is taking a lot of risks shows immense improvement for Seraph.
And the risks are paying off is the important thing. There are teams that take all kinds of risks and they blow up in their faces. We saw LMQ lose their game to Cloud9 from something like that. We've seen Curse make those kind of mistakes earlier on in the split, but right now it's the correct amount of aggression. Red buff for Dragon. Aphromoo there to get him out. Works out. Hey, you know, the game's holding a little bit closer there. CLG take the fight, even though they know they're down in gold, but they think they have positioning. That works out. The risks taken by CLG, aside from, again, that mid lane 4v4, these ones are paying out.
I mean, I'm thinking about that last Dragon fight we saw. It looked like Vasilii jumped in.
He did.
Yeah.
So he got hooked by Thresh either way. So, I mean, kind of no matter what, he was probably going to die.
Could have jumped out.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, sure, you're not wrong about that at all. To be fair, yeah, he actually could have gotten a couple hundred units away before the hook kind of interrupted his rocket jump.
I see, I see.
But no, you're right. He definitely could have gotten out. For some reason, he felt, and this is how he plays Thresh, by the way, is he jumps in most of the time.
Yeah.
So that was a little crazy. I will give you that one. That was a little bit crazy.
He's losing in CS a fair bit to Doublelift right now, too.
That's true.
It's going to be really critical to see how much that Infinity Edge matters. We know it's the Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer, but probably until he gets Last Whisper does he have some serious effectiveness. And even when he does that, he's not going to have lifesteal.
Yeah.
So Doublelift has this large portion of the game where he's going to be stronger than Vasilii.
And it depends what he's fighting up against, right? Is it going to be Cutlass or even Ruin King here for Shyvana? How much into, you know, an Aegis or Sork shoes does Dexter go on Elise? Like, if he's not fighting more than 100 armor, Phantom Match with the power spike. He's good to go. And if he's at 700 range, who needs lifesteal if you don't get hit?
Yep.
Like, there's the chance Vasilii gets to go and carry this game. It's kind of on how CLG plays and itemizes. Seraph is going tanky. Dexter is going to be able to add some more items to himself, but that's one of the races to keep in mind. If CLG gets good global gold, the tank line's big enough to deal with this. Mid lane still holding equal right here. Athenes, basically for both these guys. Link's got plenty of cash. There's the recall back. We've seen every TF go Zhonya second to allow themselves to initiate fights at will, basically.
I mean, based on the Twitch being in this game, I expect no different from XiaoWeiXiao.
Yeah. Well, needless large rod for now. You never know, could just be death cap. You just go hard for it.
Yeah, this will be tricky for Doublelift, actually. Aphromoo and Thresh in general is not the type of support that can get him a kill super easily. But they're kind of going to need it when XiaoWeiXiao gets that hourglass.
All right, well, Doublelift forces a ward out. Yeah, how well can they force these plays? Doublelift on one item at the start of a second. Vasilii might just go Ruin King anyway. Gets the lifesteal right now on the Vamp Staff. Their mid lane being under fire. NoName is too low to fight back. Vasilii get a bit of damage through. Only down one turret so far, the team. Down 2 dragons, though. Equal in kills.
Map control is swinging back in CLG's direction, though. Especially with the surprises that Doublelift has made to NoName to get him low right there. I mean, not having the Sightstone jungler on the map for extended periods of time is really, really hurting LMQ's ward control.
But they are trying to get it back. 2 pink wards in inventories right now. Vasilii, NoName both helping out. And maybe they can rest themselves back in. Dexter just misses the cocoon.
Right in between a couple of squishy targets, too.
Seraph going to head up against Ackerman top lane, and Seraph's winning this fight. That red buff steal actually still around on him.
Yeah.
Ackerman forced back. NoName playing a little bit of defense as well up there. But Link is the split pusher who's doing quite nicely. Teleport is still up. The TP mid lane, definitely something to be pointing out here. There's
That is
basically
also true.
There are only 2 combat summoners that aren't flash on CLG.
Yeah, we definitely should have touched on Link's teleport on Lulu to try and neutralize the Twisted Fate ganks. We saw a bit more of that in the past with people bringing teleport to counter Shen in top lanes and trying to match his movements. Why not just try with Twisted Fate and Lulu?
It's going to be the goal for him here. Pulling a page out of Sharu's book. TP even on Twisted Fate in the mid lane. Yeah, he would do.
Sharu, the old mid laner, Meteor Makers.
Yep. Now plays in a challenger team. Unfortunately, they haven't been doing very well, but he's around. Still trying. CLG, though, they definitely look pretty undaunted by this game. Despite about a 10% gold deficit in this game, but Doublelift's still going to hold the mid lane, trying to create the pressure here. XiaoWeiXiao doing the best he can to push them back. Aphromoo killing caster minions.
Yeah. One thing that's really evident in a lot of CLG's games is they pretty much always have a game plan of what to do next. Even when things are going a little bit wrong, they still have plans of where they're going. You can see now they're trying this 1-3-1 split push because they know they have teleport up on both of their side lanes. Meaning if any fight were to break out in the mid lane, they would have the numbers advantage, as well as them having this slow siege in the mid lane, which is guaranteeing Doublelift's farm and should eventually give them that mid lane turret. Little bits every time they push in a bit more.
See the gold trying to take it back in here, but LMQ really not letting any turret damage come through. So that's just holding. They're just getting items back and forth. Vasilii going to the bottom lane. Yordle combat here. Link, there's a TP in for Seraph. Can they make this fight happen anyway, though? There comes Ackerman. Link forced to flash away. Pops the ulti. Couple more hits. Gold card. And there's the one picked up. Seraph definitely can't be part of this fight at all. There's the kill picked up. Uh-oh. Shyvana, the kick. Gonna knock him back. Still has dragon form, though. And there he goes.
And the big fish jumps over the wall again. Plus, they get the mid lane turret.
Yeah.
So Seraph, very hard man to kill this game. We knew that LMQ had a low damage team overall. So if they're not using their lockdown, as Seraph's trying to jump away, they're not going to get him. NoName was hoping to use the Dragon's Rage on the Dragon's Descent or the Lee Sin kick on the Shyvana jump.
Yeah.
But Seraph held it past the expected time. And now Link still does have teleport, so they could theoretically defend this.
And they've got more globals on the map right now. Dragon is up, and there it's going to be started right away. Seraph is still mid lane, though. Looks like CLG not going to try, but they can go for the steal with Lantern. He tries it!
Whoa! That was a really clean attempt.
Flash Q smite, better smite for NoName.
Yeah. That was sweet.
That was well coordinated.
Yeah. But again, 3 dragons to LMQ.
Yep.
Meaning the gold lead extends.
For what it's worth, CLG did get mid-outer with Doublelift during that whole big trade in the bot lane.
Yeah.
That trade actually went to CLG's favor. Problem is they just couldn't get enough for it. And the Dragon once again, LMQ. So 4,000 gold lead is a nice number to be at 20 minutes in. Pretty reasonable one. Link not really losing his jungle very much. LMQ, they're not playing into the enemy jungle very much. They're playing a much more reserved game, saying, look, when TF ulti's up, we'll play around that. We'll pick you off because all of the outer turrets are gone right now. There's a lot of blank space to work with. Or, sorry, I guess 5 of the 6 are gone. And that's where they're playing aggressively. They're playing around ulti cooldowns, not about jumping into the jungle every single time, playing around every single bot.
They're trying to get Ackerman here. I feel like Seraph tipped his hand a little bit early.
And out Ackerman goes, so nothing grabbed there. Link does get some work. Well, CLG actually the first team to really play in the enemy jungle and this far into the game. LMQ with defensive pink wards now, one of which is already dead.
This is going to be another one of those games where CLG wants to manufacture a bit of a win with superior map movements. The early game didn't exactly go their way, but they're still maintaining a really strong presence on the map. Ghostblade being completed by Doublelift as well is a huge increase in power right now. But XiaoWeiXiao has a Zhonya's Hourglass, so he can shut down Doublelift just as quickly. It'll depend on the ability of Link and Aphromoo to shield him appropriately.
Well, Link's going for an interesting build, though. He's not going for that hyper utility build. He's going split pushy with the
They
Sheen.
missed him with the ward.
Oh, man. Double goes in on Vasilii. Half HP. Out he goes. Bubble hits Doublelift. Gold card goes in. The kick back. Doublelift's got to be scared. Vasilii is going to pick up one, and out he goes. Seraph can't catch him. And there's Seraph now getting Lulu ulted, but the chase is still on. Shyvana refuses to die, but here comes XiaoWeiXiao. The first death of the weekend for Seraph. Yes, it is. Ackerman claims it there. 2-0 on the fight. Nicely done, LMQ.
Doublelift gets bounced around right there. Bubble to Buster Shot to Lee Sin kick, and LMQ continues the dive.
Ackerman can't quite find the stun. Kills a spiraling anyway, but it does mean middle outer turret is gone. 5 seconds still of power play, maybe a little bit more. Couple minions still around if they want to keep this push. And they are. Mid-tier 2 now under fire.
Yeah, why not continue this push a little bit? They burned all the CLG ultimates prior. Ackerman hooked in and a few people alive, but they do not have the power to chase.
They could have dived. Oh my gosh, that repel. He can't go anywhere. And then a jump to goes in, goes down. XiaoWeiXiao finds another. Vasilii though, burning, and he will fall out. Aphro gets the kill here. But LMQ just took a bunch.
They took so many advantages, and that really just compounds on top of their earlier gold lead from the Dragons. This game just does not have breaks at this point because CLG is going right back up the mid lane to try and punish. XiaoWeiXiao, there's going to be a Twitch nearby.
Well, Vasilii's not alive, so it could be the time. XiaoWeiXiao takes the glitter lance, pops the Zonias, but he's still outnumbered. Ackerman stays around. Hook's going to land. Double gets the kill. Ackerman forced away. NoName lands the Q. They can't even try to go into this one. Instead, the turret will take some damage. Seraph holding aggro. Double actually gets a shield from Aphro because he pulled actually turret aggro there. And they're going to have to back out on that one. Just the kill picked up. No turret kills, just some damage.
CLG always trying to get something back. The mark of a good team often is knowing when they go in, but this is just a nice little catch, knocking him up with the tail end of the Lulu ultimate. And then the timing of Aphromu's hook as well. Zonius is 1.5 seconds. Oftentimes people jump the gun on that one, but Aphromoo gets him exactly when he comes out.
Beautiful play then. And it's going to be a pretty happy place then for CLG fans, just for that little fight. Problem is LMQ are still plenty far ahead. Almost 7,000 gold is a very large number, and they seem content to keep pushing the agenda. Got more kills than our last game combined.
Yes.
24 minutes in half the time, half as many teams.
Yeah, LMQ has more kills than last game combined.
Right,
on their own.
That's what I was saying.
But really, I thought you said the whole game.
Oh, I missed.
Sorry for you.
Made a mistake. It's okay. It's my fault.
The static shift being completed by Vasilii is pretty huge as well.
Yep.
He is a big-time threat at this point. Still no Lichbane onto Link either. Surprised he's actually going Lichbane second item instead of the Death Cap, especially with how easily Doublelift was focused. You would think they need more ability power for bigger shields onto him if they're going to continue to play that strategy of Doublelift walking up next to them.
But that's CLG's new identity. It's not the two-threat team protect the Doublelift. It's we've got a game plan going in, right? TP, Lulu, a very obvious choice. They knew TF coming in. Just think about the ban phase of the first pick and letting LMQ steal that away with air quotes. They know Link is going to be this good split pusher. His dueling power very high with Lichbane second.
That is very true, and his teleport, of course.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you gotta be dangerous. You gotta be careful with your split push when you're this far down in gold.
Yeah.
Because this squad you leave behind is immensely vulnerable. And Twisted Fate Lee Sin is a combo that can close kills very well.
It's so scary. It's ludicrously scary. Double's gonna look for the attempt. Goes to actually burned by XiaoWeiXiao.
Still some threat, that's for sure.
Absolutely is. He's going Lichbane now himself. Actually, it's Sheen plus part of a death cap, so splitting his build up a little bit. Sheen has great burst at this point in the game. About 70 to 80 bonus damage.
This dragon, it's going to be dicey if CLG wants this one. LMQ very confidently wanting to force this, knowing they have a big 5v5 advantage.
Banshee's Veil, Ackerman plus Sunfire. He is a tanky man. They're going in for this one. They got to be careful though. Wow!
Double
what a bubble goes in. Ackerman in the front lines. He's happy. NoName grabs Dragon, and there's the fight. Dexter low. Seraph, the great knockout comes in. Ackerman forced out. Now how good's the damage output as everyone's forced to run away? The hook on Vasilii. Another hook catches them. Gets the heals and gets out. But now you got to be careful in this fight. Ackerman so low. He's got to recall away. He does get to safety.
LMQ very, very low, but with another dragon, if CLG can't close these, depends how crazy Doublelift has become.
Gets a slow, but can't get much more than one auto attack down. Aphro flash hooks! He catches XiaoWeiXiao! In he goes! The Zonias though, it's a bait! Vasilii finds one! Dexter's there, they answer back, but it's 2 kills! It's gonna be more Vasilii with a triple kill, and out he goes! What a fight for LMQ again!
After Vasilii got hooked in the previous dragon fight, you would never expect him to come back with that triple kill, but CLG actually overreaches right there, trying to make too big of a play. And it's LMQ who can actually play the counter-aggression card and come out on top. completely unexpected. Take another look at this one. I mean, LMQ just bursted down the dragon, and a couple critical things about this fight. The tidal wave was fantastic by Moore here. There was a pretty good combo by CLG Seraph with the Shyvana ultimate, but he didn't get the Dragon's Descent damage because the tidal wave stopped a little bit short. And then, because Doublelift had been pushed so far back, they couldn't quite finish off Vasilii. With the end of that fight happening, I mean, they go straight to Baron, which is also contentious. Oh man!
Oh my gosh, they're trying. Red team picks up Baron. That is Vasilii, who can't do anything wrong this game. The kickback. Aphro goes down. Vasilii on a rampage. The team's still in Baron pit, and CLG want this fight. Problem is, Double's ulti not yet up. There it is. Can they re-engage? XiaoWeiXiao finds Seraph. Double getting locked up. Does what damage he can. He's still trying to kite away, but he's already died here. And CLG forced to run 3-2 in that fight.
Wow. LMQ making all their shots this game. Vasilii 7-2 after that chaos, going straight for the Baron. A very risky move, as we saw with how low they became. It was actually Vasilii's auto attack that ended up picking up this Baron because it was just a burst of damage. So most likely LMQ were the ones to get it. But man, just look at this. They pull off the combo again with Seraph. But then, it was just a 5-on-3, right? Doublelift had died in the previous fight. He was so far behind. LMQ just kind of waiting it out, remembering that the Baron will regen them up ever so slightly, waiting for the right moment and the right cooldowns. Flashing into stun Doublelift and just never giving him a chance to open up fire on the LMQ team. A really well-played fight by LMQ.
Yeah. CLG was so close to winning that anyway, though. And I attribute actually a good part of that to the difference in item builds, actually. The fact that Moore had his Mikhail's Crucible in the prior fight, the Dragon fight that he got hooked in, and saved Vasilii there, kept him kind of afloat. Aphro's still without that item. If he had had it, if he had had the ability to give like one more cleanse or one more shield to Doublelift, he was spraying and praying the entire team, life-stealing them with Ruin King.
Right.
He was buying time until Rat-a-tat-tat was up. Doublelift actually almost won that, despite everything. It was actually closer than it looked. It was, oh my gosh, Ackerman. What? All right, Yomu's up, gonna dash around. Breaks the Banshee's Veil, now the slow. Saves that one, but here comes XiaoWeiXiao to turn it around, but the rest of CLG is there. LMQ opt into basically a 2 versus 5, but they find a kill anyway, and the team is now rejoining them. Dexter forced to run, Bubble won't quite land. Seraph over the wall, here's the kick back, and they find Dexter with that one, and the chase in for Vasilii. Tidal Wave, forcing Aphromoo away. He's gonna hook to a minion or something, can't quite find it. Another kill now goes to Vasilii, another 3-1 fight.
And whatever item advantage Doublelift had gotten early with the Blade of the Ruin King Ghostblade build is long gone because Vasilii is on a rampage right now with that Infinity Edge build. But added to the fact that XiaoWeiXiao has powered up and Doublelift is just exploding.
Yeah, it is hard for him to get into these fights. The rat-a-tat-tat not meaning much when you're dead. It's the best form of CC, and even Mikhail's won't save you from that one. Bottom inhibitor now under fire, surely to fall down. Respawns are coming though. LMQ has to back out pretty soon, but they won't get chased out.
No.
Well, maybe Doublelift will.
The advantage has ballooned here for LMQ, but I do give CLG credit in the fact that they are still trying to find fights. They're not just letting LMQ starve them out and let Tristana reach a late game paradigm of power. Sure, the late game is being accelerated because they're getting so many fights, but a lot of those engagements in the middle of the game, CLG was very close to winning and turning the game around. When it's gotten to this point, though, it's looking a little bit ugly.
It's harder and harder. Right now, CLG have failed to grab their way back in on this one. Link gonna get himself the blue buff, at least that'll give him some more utility. He'll stay safe on that one. Plenty of mana and CDR now for the guy. Working on his 3rd item, whereas that's already done for XiaoWeiXiao. XiaoWeiXiao's almost at 4 items. Well ahead of Link's pacing right now.
Yeah, and with the Lich Bane coming next, it'll be death to whoever he teleports to, most likely Doublelift.
And LMQ now to the top lane. Vasilii adds Bloodthirster 4th, helping him.
I like that.
I do too.
Really
I love it.
That on Tristana because of the shield. It's a really undervalued thing at this point. At level 18, 440 extra health from him as long as he can remain in combat. Especially for how aggressive he plays. They're actually going here.
Yeah, it's like made for Vasilii here. Uh-oh, lot of health going away. Takes the Mikhail's heal just in case. Locket's still up for the guy. Double Randuin's there for the front line as well, but LMQ forced away by Doublelift's ultimate there. Yeah, that won't be up for the next fight.
Ghost played a very low cooldown, 45 seconds.
Yep.
About a minion wave and a half. but the Rat-a-Tat's on a much longer cooldown.
76 still to go.
Does not seem like LMQ is a team to shy away from a fight. They want another one.
Aphro pretty low on health, actually. Only about 3/4. And not the tankiest guy. His only tank item face the mountain there, and he's going to use that on someone else.
Yeah.
Another attempted bubble. Actually hits Dexter this time around. No ulti coming through just yet. Hook on Ackerman, but he's okay with taking that damage. Seraph down to 1,000 health. He's going to back out of this one. Doublelift now well too far forward. Has to back. Seraph low on top of that one. Block of shield means that LMQ will push in. Inhibitor turret number 2 is dead, and the inhibitor's just open.
Just straight up powering through. You can see the power of Vasilii's Tristana right there, and even the gold cards, making any type of counterattack by CLG very, very difficult. Great inhibitor take by LMQ. And a Nexus turret died during
Oh my
that.
gosh, everything going so well for these guys now. Maybe ready to close it out. The next couple right here, just one last recall, get the items in. XiaoWeiXiao making sure he's got enough, keeps the minion waves in order. But I gotta expect he's got Lichbane by this point. Lichbanes destroy structures.
Yeah. It'll be Ridley.
Oh yeah, 1,600 gold, he's got plenty.
Oh dear.
He'll win eventually. There you go. See, not a problem. Link had this under control. Okay. Doublelift 4, 4, and 5. To be fair, like the score lines aren't bad for the CLG members. Like they're all putting in individual contributions. Difficult is just that they haven't been able to win the fights that matter. I believe undefeated on Dragons right now. Yeah, 5 of 5. And of course the 6 turrets as well. Global Gold really the main hero for LMQ right now. And the fact that Vasilii he's reckless enough that it works. It's always a question for LMQ. Did you try a little bit too hard for that fight? Twice it was. 9 times it wasn't.
In this game for sure. And even the fights they lost, they barely lost.
Yep.
And they weren't disastrous fights for them. They've maintained objective control throughout all of this, which is probably one of the most critical things. Just waiting on that Baron respawn. Any type of catch will be instant demise for CLG.
There's the ulti.
Might just go right here. They're not ones to hesitate.
Look on NoName. Fish comes out, doesn't mean much. CLG back out. TF ultis in towards the Baron pit.
All right.
Still plenty of ward control. They can see all of CLG right now. They're waiting right over the wall. A couple of wards come out. They see him back off towards the red buff.
Whoa, ghosted.
There's the ghost in. Will they catch Aphro? Yes, they will. He dodged the hook as well, but Aphro's surely going to die. Then Vasilii finds one. He is legendary. Doublelift not in the right spot, and in goes Tristana. He's chasing them down. Bunny hopping back and forth. Goomba stomping everybody. Vasilii taking on the role of Mario, and down goes Link as well. A triple kill for the Tristana. Seraph left alive. XiaoWeiXiao wants to take him out, but this is going to be surely the game there. Gold card, wild card. Seraph's got to run away on that one. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, he had that. That was the kill. But you know what? That's okay. 20 kills and 35.5 minutes in. LMQ taking one of the most convincing games of the week.
Yep.
And stopping that 0-2 slide of the week so far. Breaking CLG's record as well.
Bouncing back as well from their defeat earlier to Curse. Taking a lot of decisive actions here against CLG. Big plays across the board for them. The dream of 4-0 this Super Week is gone as well. CLG falling. They're now 2-1 on the week. Hoping to bounce back tomorrow. It was a close game. This was a really, really well-played game. Do not let the 20 kills to 9 at the end fool you into saying this was a LMQ stomp, because there were very, very close fights in the middle of the game, and knowing the way CLG can play if they were to have gotten the lead.
They could have controlled that. Doublelift
could have controlled that game as well.
Doublelift nearly took those fights down. You saw how hard he was trying to make those plays. He would stealth, get whimsied and help picks by the Lulu. He's like, go, catch somebody out. And LMQ managed to play together enough. The double teleport on both sides. TF plus summoners, or just 2 summoners there. You got to play so careful around the map to not get caught out. Generally speaking, these teams played that quite well, but LMQ is just so tenacious. They just looked for the fights, and they were tempered enough in the aggression. Again, Vasilii would jump in maybe one too many times, but you saw in that very last fight, the TF ulti came out. Do we want to catch them? No, back out, go for Baron instead. Right? XiaoWeiXiao didn't dive in the middle of 5 people. They decided to wait around, play the objectives a bit more, and they found the correct fight there. So LMQ tempers the aggression properly, and they look this scary all the time.
Yeah, and potentially